Khloé Kardashian is famous for her blunt behavior and snarky remarks. Oftentimes, it is her employees that have to bear the brunt of it, enough for them to decide to sue her. For a lot of people, working for the Kardashians may be a dream come true, but after watching today's video, they might want to change their mind. So, how exactly does Khloé treat her workers? Well, watch until the end to find that out. Cheap labor. If you're working for Khloé Kardashian, the list of things that you need to do just never ends. When her employees are handed the job description, everything might seem simple and doable to them, but once they're hired, their life becomes a series of never-ending chores. The worst part about it is that the pay that they get is nothing compared to the workload that they have to take on. Several former employees have commented on how the job contract simply flies out the window once they're given the job, bearing no importance at all. One might expect Khloé to pay her employees well, considering the fact that she's a millionaire. However, it seems like things are quite the opposite. She's actually pretty good at getting labor as cheap as possible. The assistant editor that once worked for her exposed Khloé's mistreatment on a now-deleted Twitter thread by saying this: "It is an awful, exploitative policy that makes sure that eager, inexperienced, and poorly paid employees remain inexperienced and poorly paid." Now, you might be wondering how poorly paid the former worker actually could be. Well, to quote her words, she could not even afford gas while working under her. So, things definitely were pretty bad. Working overtime while traveling. Well, by now it's quite obvious that working under Khloé leaves one with absolutely no free time at all. And if you're in her travel staff, you're gonna have to travel a lot. Now, the idea of going places all over the world might seem alluring, fun even, but it's hard to enjoy trips when they're strictly for work, especially when so much is expected of you. Not only are her employees expected to travel with her for weeks on extremely short notice, but also have to make sure that all of her requirements are met. From babysitting to making sure that Khloé's life is completely stress-free, they have to handle everything. Now, had it have been someone else, things wouldn't seem that hard, but it's Khloé we're talking about. Her attitude towards her travel staff becomes so extreme that even her sister Kourtney called her out on it by saying that she complains about literally everything. Now, Kourtney herself is pretty strict about certain rules in her house, so if she thinks that Khloé has too many demands and asks for too much, it has to be true. Unrealistic expectations. Some of her employees have to maintain the perfect image of Khloé across all of her social media platforms. They're responsible for capturing the perfect photo, editing it so that it turns out to be flawless, and then combining it up with the perfect caption. Not only are they called at odd hours to capture a moment in the perfect angle, they're also backlashed for it, because Khloé's expectations, they can hardly ever be met. There have been several reports of Khloé lashing out on her employees for not managing her social media accounts well. Back in 2019, she even fired a longtime assistant merely because of her own mistake. She thought that the post had not been properly edited, even though there was nothing wrong with it in the first place. Khloé, though, got very upset and told her to leave that very instant. That's not all. The accounts that posted that picture of hers online, all of them got suspended. There were several other similar instances as well. The following year, another employee working for Khloé accused her for being verbally abusive towards her, that she screamed at her and made unethical remarks for not meeting up to her unrealistic expectations. Unfair treatment at The Good American. Khloé is the co-founder of the denim brand The Good American. Business for her there has been pretty well. One could even say that it's flourishing. However, the staff working under her there does not seem to be too happy. In 2020, a former Good American employee accused the company of a toxic work culture, citing long hours, unpaid overtime, and abusive behavior from management. The former staff worker complained about how Khloé Kardashian herself was not involved in the day-to-day management of the company, but that her mother, Kris Jenner, and other executives were responsible for creating a toxic work environment. The staff working there were often berated for making mistakes, and that they were expected to work extremely long hours without overtime pay or breaks. Considering her treatment towards her employees, it would come off as no surprise if they refused to continue working for her in the future. Click on one of the two videos on your screen right now We'll catch you guys in the next one.